Welcome back to this Tuesday edition of The Price of Business. I'm your host, Kevin Brights, talking to you about you and your business. Got Charles Alvarez on. He's on every Tuesday, talking sometimes about people in business that he encounters and works with. Sometimes we get him on to talk about what's going on with what he does in helping others and growing their business. Charles, welcome to the program. Kind of give us that overview of what your business is all about.
Sure, and thanks for having me, Kevin. I appreciate it. Well, basically what we do is we work with business owners in 4 key areas. We drive more leads to their business, close more of those leads into actually loyal customers, get more time out of the business owner's day, and then we also systematize their business and their team by putting in productivity measures so that they can double their business and realize the business they've always wanted to have.
Very good. Tell us a little bit about kind of the profile of your business, the range, the types, those type of thing.
Typically, our typical customer has somewhere between $1 to $10 million in revenue, 9 or more employees, and they're basically in 3 different types of industries: engineering firms, architecture firms, and contracting firms. Those are very scalable businesses that we really enjoy working with, and really, there are very few obstacles into actually scaling it to be whatever it is that they want to be. For example, I noticed I didn't say manufacturing. Well, if you have a 98% capacity, if you're 98% full in your capacity manufacturing, the obvious question is, well, we can either create a new product line or increase manufacturing by building a new site. So we like working with professional services firms that can scale quickly.
Very good. And obviously people need to recognize that they need to grow. When they're coming to you, I'm assuming I would assume some of them are probably in pain when they come to you.
Significant pain. And usually that pain is, we would want to make more money, or, Charles, what do you mean more leads? I can't get more leads. If I got more leads, we wouldn't know anything to do with them because we're completely maxed out. So it's usually, I don't have enough time. I can't find good people for my business. I can't find leads to attract my ideal customer. And you know what? We've got leads, but I can't either process them or I can't close them. Yeah.
And so you want people to get to a point where you can make possibility happen for them. You want them to be able to say, look, if you change this, you'd be able to add this many more customers. If you did that, you'd be able to increase your bandwidth without increasing your costs, those type of things.
That is absolutely correct.
And then the symptoms to make it more manageable. Talk about that as well.
Well, the symptoms are typically, we're not making enough revenue, we don't have enough profit. Those are the symptoms of typically a much deeper issue, which is, one of the complaints I often hear from business owners is, my gosh, we'll have this period of time where our revenue is great, and then all of a sudden it'll drop off and it'll be a value. Then it'll be great again, and then another value. Then great again and have another value. We need to create more profits. Well, what really needs to happen is they need to create a consistent amount of leads for their business, find the right people in order to service those customers, and make sure that you're constantly adding value to those customers and clients that business serves.
Yeah. Do you want to mention, by the way, there's a lot of great practical information by Charles over at priceofbusiness.com. He's always adding to his collection of articles over there. And so I want to encourage you to check him out. Lots of hands-on, how to do it, how to improve your selling. Do you want to mention, also want to plug one of my other contributors who has a brand new article over there. His name's Sullivan Alexander with Contour Business Advisors. His article on construction business cost-saving stories with Kevin Harney of Stelco Construction. You want to check that article too. But that's a great source. Priceofbusiness.com not only is a great place to find audio and programs, it's also a fantastic place to get great practical how-to advice. What are some of your more recent articles over there?
Well, some of the articles have been how to find great people for your business. That seems to be a really popular theme these days, especially with the Houston economy doing so well. How to generate more leads, how to grow the enterprise value of your business, how to overcome any business challenge you have. And I tell you, your contributors, Kevin, have done an excellent job of really putting some really high content, very how-to advice there, because so many articles that I come across websites is just basically a fancy advertising, and it doesn't really add a lot of value. Your contributors do one heck of a job, so I highly encourage those listening to go to that website.
Yeah, and in addition to that, there's just a lot of opportunity there for individuals to see windows into the way other businesses are conducted. I've got a series of interviews with all kinds of individuals in different industries. People are trying to manage their time better as CEOs and that type of thing. And so you're getting the insights from other people. And so I encourage people to do that. Plus, there's a lot of people who have taken the approach that you've taken of really looking at specific areas to grow your business.
Absolutely. It's a great resource.
Yeah. So, when you look at your clientele right now, what would you say is the biggest drum or the loudest drum that they're beating?
I would say that right now the biggest drum is that, you know what, I can't find good people for my business.
Mm-hmm.
And what I always ask them for that is, okay, well, what type of person are you looking for? And one of the things that our clients, that we walk our clients through is something called the Employee Top 40 list, which is what are the skills, what are the qualitative and quantitative aspects of this individual you want? Because once you understand exactly who it is that you are looking for, what I find is that you typically have a big enough network. You know, there's a rule of 250, which says that everybody has at least access to 250 people that if they call them would recognize them and want to hear from them. Mm-hmm. And what I find is that within that network of 250, guess what? They each have their own 250 as well. So just multiply 250 times 250. And guess what? That's your talent pool. But we have to be very clear and very specific on exactly who it is that you want to bring into your business and what skill sets and what type of personality and just work ethic they have. And once you distribute that to what's called your network, I find that you can find the right person more often than not.
Yeah, that's exactly right. And so people need to be more proactive in networking. They need to really exploit to the hilt, the relationships they have and be generous back in the relationships they have for those people before, at least as much as time doing that as they are cold calling.
Law of reciprocity, it just happens. And I mean, I think you can find it in the Bible and a lot of other places, which is when you give something, it just inevitably comes back to you. Now, it can't come across that way because otherwise it looks very selfish. But if you truly have a genuine interest in helping each other, that's the way the world works. That's the way business works. So practicing that on a daily basis in business pays so much dividends, it's ridiculous.
Yeah, no question about it. Again, talking to Charles Alvarez. What's your website?
You can go to cornerstonebusinessacademy.com. And as a matter of fact, if you put your first name and email address, we'll give you 10 free videos on how to find a minimum, and this is just a minimum, this is not if you're not even really trying that much, of finding $10,000 of extra revenue in your business over the next 30 days. I highly recommend that you do that. It's a wonderful resource.
Yeah, no question about it. And the videos are often awesome. I got to see a few of them. I'm a little behind, because you know how crazy my life is. Sure. But I don't have time for stuff like that, typically speaking. And now the way I look at it, I don't have time not to look at these important videos because I'm continuously trying to grow my business. And Charles Alvarez is a part of me growing my business, a big part of it, in fact.
Well, thank you very much. It's a pleasure to serve you.
Yeah, no question about it. And that's the attitude that he has. Kind of give us an overview of how many clients that you work with at any given time.
Right now, the capacity for each of our consultants is about 25 clients per. So currently we have 3 associates. So we have the capacity to serve right at about 100 clients, plus or minus a few. So we really try to do give a Ritz-Carlton approach to our clients and really make sure that they're being taken care of. And we succeed when they succeed. That's kind of our mantra. Yeah,
that's pretty impressive. And the reason why you're able to have that kind of bandwidth is because you've got some clients that are almost purely virtual clients, and they pretty much get their information when they want to. Is that the largest group of clients you have?
That is correct.
Yeah,
that is correct.
And you want that to continue to grow because it serves them from a value proposition way very nicely, and it serves you in that it makes you the most of your time.
Well, some business owners don't want to take an hour and a half of their time or whatever, or sometimes they just don't want to devote that big of an investment to taking their business to the next level. So having a phone number that they can call into and really get some dense material on how to take their business to the next level. Yes, it's not as intimate, it's not as one-on-one, it's not as specific to their business, but it does provide them what they need to grow their business. So yeah, that is a great way for business owners to grow, and it's a great way to leverage our time.
All right. Speaking of time, ours is up. Charles Alvarez has been our guest, and delighted always to have him on the program. Love it when he comes on and just shares his wisdom. Love it even more when he brings in unique guests that are people that you encounter in your business processes. Great stuff. I'm Kevin Price. You're listening to The Price of Business. Do want to remind you, best content here shows up over there at USDailyReview.com.